Chelsea were really in front when it come to the youth teams, along with maybe West Ham and Man United. But I always believed we were like, it wasn't a professional club, it was like a family. I mean, we all come together and got on absolutely brilliantly. Even that age, we were always in the cafe afterwards, talking football. It wasn't just a matter of doing your training and going home. We just wanted to get better and wanted to get better, looking for clues how to improve.
So who were the people who were doing that?
Well, there would be Peter Bonetti was in that, and there was also Ken Shellito still, the Harris brother, Eddie McCready came, but still Barry Bridges, Bobby Tamblyn, Bert Murray. I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, it just grew and grew and grew. And of course, obviously after that we beat Preston in the Youth Cup final, the first one, and then Everton on the second one. And that team just grew and just got on fantastically well. It was more than a football club in some ways.
You were an East End boy?
Yeah, I came from Dagenham, yeah.
So were the Harrises. So was
they
Greaves.
come Hackney. Jimmy come from Dagenham.
And Chelsea did well in the East End.
Yeah, he did well. I mean, Jimmy Thompson is a famous old name. I would like to think a lot of people remember him because the players he got, like Greaves, Braybrook, myself, Bridges, Tamblyn, all these boys. I mean, Bert Murray, Harris brother, he got all those boys there. He did a fantastic job, and he was maybe one of the funniest characters I've ever met in my life. I mean, the things and strokes he got up to were quite amazing.
Was he a bit of a nutcase?
No, he was eccentric, let's put it that way, you know. I can always remember going to, he said, meet me, and he was always looking over his shoulders. I mean, we're only talking. He'd say, meet me at Waterloo. So I said, Waterloo, I'm not sure about what, we'll make it Victoria. So I said, yeah, under the clock. I said, under the clock? Which clock? So he said, you'll see it, it's right in the centre, you can't miss it. So I'm standing under the clock, and I'm waiting for Jim, and there's thousands of people around, and I can hear pss, pss, pss. So I thought, is that for me? And pss, pss, can't see nothing. Pss. So I turn around, and he said, come on, follow me. Everything was a secret, it was amazing.
And why?
Just because he didn't want anyone to know what he was doing, you know. I mean, I can remember when he came around my house at Dagenham at Bonham Road. I lived 176 Bonham Road, and he was in there, and he'd been there a couple of hours, and I'd had an ankle injury, and he had this oils that he said was against the law. They shouldn't use these special oils. They're magic, you see. And sure enough, I'd broke before. I didn't know. He said, kick that ball. So I said, you sure about this? I said, I mean, this is not an ordinary injury, and I'm only 15. So he said, come in the garden. So we go in the garden and get the ball out. He said, kick that as hard as you can. I said, are you sure about this? He said, yeah. Well, I kicked the ball. A, it knocked him over, and B, I collapsed. I mean, the bone was broken. And then he's come inside, he's rubbing these oils, and it's come up black, my foot. And the doorbell goes, he said, who is it? I said, I don't know, I'm here with you. So he said, well, he said, OK, he said, open the door, but where can I hide? I said, what do you want to hide for? He said, look for the curtains, look for the curtains. I said, it's chairman of West Ham. Oh, no. He was upstairs, he was in the bedroom hiding under the bed. I mean, the chairman's not going to look under the bed, is he? He was, I mean, all the players will tell you the same stories. I mean, it was just amazing. But through all that, you couldn't help loving him, you know. He was just such a character.
Who was important when you were being coached in the youth team?
Dick Foss, fantastic. Again, all the players loved Dick Foss. I mean, he was one of the reasons. Once Jimmy Thompson brought those players to the club, he knit them together, and he had a right good way of keeping you down. You know, if you was too big for your boots, he'd cut your legs away, and that rubbed to the players. If there's any players coming and wanted to be more than one of the boys, they'd have this way of chipping them do, which most clubs do now anyway. But Dick Foss was a wonderful man and a wonderful servant for Chelsea Football Club. Done a brilliant job.
So do we have things to learn in the modern day from the youth set-up then?
I think you always have plenty to learn. The game's changed so much. It's you know, the thing that concerns me a lot now is the youngsters don't get much of a chance, and it's understandable. If you've got to pick from the world, you've got to have the best. You've got to win at the top end. The competition's good. It makes them. It's not that if they're not good enough, they can't expect to be in. and they'll find their level, and they will find their level.